What's going on, everybody? This is Temperature Check. I am your host, as always, man. Mr. Check the Temperature. How y'all doing? Before we get started with today's content, I must do what I always do anytime you see me on your screen. And that's thank you guys for the likes, comments, shares, most importantly, those subscriptions. So whether you be a day one fan or someone who just started rocking with the channel today, man, I greatly appreciate it. And if you're loving what I got going on my YouTube and you want to stay engaged with me outside of this, man, hit me up on Twitter, hit me up on Instagram, Mr. Check the Temperature. It's just that simple. But before we get started in today's topic, man, I know you see that Cash App. I know you see the Cash App. If you got $1, you got 75 cents, you got a couple dollars, go ahead and bless a brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm working hard out here. But if you saving up that money for that temperature checker pearl, I appreciate that as well. But you ain't gonna have to save that up too much longer, because we dang sure about to drop these temperature check dad hats and the hoodies that you see me rocking. We got them in black, red, cool gray, charcoal gray, and my favorite is gonna be this olive green. It's about to go crazy. But let's talk some NFL football, man. And before we talk about it, let me validate why I feel like I can have an opinion. Not only was I a high school football player, I was a collegiate football player, and I also played arena football. After a couple knee injuries playing arena football, I hung it up. But I stayed engaged with the sport. I am now a high school official on a varsity level. So I do varsity basketball, baseball, and football. So I feel like I could talk a little bit about the sport. So let's get into it, man. We're going to talk these Saturday matchups for the 2020 Wild Card Weekend. And then we're going to get into them Sunday matchups. And them Sunday matchups, I can't wait because my boys is playing. But let's handle the Saturdays first. So the first matchup for NFL weekend, the Colts, the 11-5 Colts versus the 13-3 Buffalo Bills, man. Shout out to the Buffalo Bills, man. It's been a long, long time since we have seen them dominate a NFL season to the degree that they have this year, man. I mean, if you're looking at that wide receiving core, Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley, Josh Brown, like they have a very, very solid core. Josh Allen, man, the progression every year is just getting better, and he's no longer just that pocket passer that he was in college. You see him on the move. He has some ability to he can shake some things up. He can get a couple yards with his feet when he needs to. But shout out to the Colts, man. Especially Phillip Rivers, man. That's somebody who has had a very interesting NFL career. I mean, being a long-time San Diego Chargers, starting off with LaDainian Tomlinson, replacing Drew Brees after he had the injury. So, he's had a Hall of Fame career, but he just hasn't had that moment yet. He really just hasn't had that moment yet. I mean, yeah, I think he made it to the AFC Championship once, but he hasn't had that moment. But he is a fighter. He is a fighter, and he is definitely somebody that you want on your foxhole. But I do not know if defensively the Colts are going to be able to hang with Buffalo. Buffalo's hot. Buffalo is one of the hottest teams. But there's also something to be said about very hot teams that win so much. You also got to think about the law of averages. If you're winning 7, 8, 9 games in a row, not saying that Buffalo did that, but if you're winning a bunch of games in a row, the law of averages are just going to increase that you're going to slip up. And this is a wrong time to slip up. But I do think that the Buffalo Bills will be circling that wagon once again this Saturday. So I'm actually going to go with Buffalo 31-17. We'll go Buffalo Bills 31-17. But shout out to the Colts, man. Shout out to the Buffalo Bills. I'm expecting a very big day from Stephon Diggs. A very, very big day from Stephon Diggs. That's going to be the person, again, watch that receiving core. They're going to establish in the run game, but watch that play-action pass. That's what makes them so deadly. But let's get to the NFC West. Let's talk the LA Rams versus the Seattle Seahawks. In Seattle, you have a division rival, obviously, the Rams with a 10-6 season. But they don't have their starting quarterback. They have Eric Warford, who is a former quarterback from Wake Forest, who showed some flashes last week. He wasn't impressive, but he at least gave you some belief that they could at least hang in the game, especially if that defense is going to play like that. If the defense is going to play lights out like that, they have a chance. Now, again, this is a division rival, and division rival games are very, very tough. There's no tricks. What can you do? They see you twice a year. There's no tricks. You're not going to surprise anybody. The Seattle Seahawks live and die by Russell Wilson. That's what it is. As Russell goes, the Seahawks go. I don't know. The matchup that we need to pay attention to is going to be DK Metcalf versus Jalen Ramsey. DJ Metcalf versus Jalen Ramsey. DK Metcalf is a created player on Madden. I think he's 99 on everything. How is he so tall? How is he so muscular and runs a 4.3? That man is the second coming of Calvin Johnson. And that's a hell of a statement to make, but he is. We need to pay attention to that. But that's going to be the key matchup for me. That's the key matchup that I'm looking at. DK Metcalf versus Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey is a lockdown corner. I know about lockdown corners. He shuts down a half of a field. An entire field will not be touched because Jalen's on that side. It's going to be a very interesting game. It's going to be a very interesting game. But I do have to take the Seattle Seahawks again. As Russell goes, the Seahawks go. I think Bobby Wagner, the head of that defense, a potential Hall of Fame linebacker, I think he has that defense moving in the right direction, and they know when to turn it on, and it is about that time. So I am going to go with the Seattle Seahawks. I'm going to say this is going to be a lot closer than what people think, man. Give me 27-24 Seattle. But shout out to both teams. That's going to be a good one. But the most interesting matchup for the Saturday AFC wild card is the last one of the day. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Washington football team. How did a team with no mascot make the playoffs? Oh yeah, I forgot. They coming from the NFC least. But that's no slight, man. We all 0-0 when we get into these playoffs. So obviously you think Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you think Tom Brady. Tom Brady is built for the playoffs. Tom Brady is built for moments like this. He's gotten better as the season has progressed, and I don't know if we're paying enough attention to a very key X factor for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, especially now with Mike Evans being done, and prayers up to him with that horrific injury he sustained last week. But Antonio Brown has scored 3 touchdowns in the last 3 games. Let's not act like Antonio Brown at this peak was not. No, he wasn't even arguably. He was the best receiver in the game at his peak. And so now he's getting back in the football condition. He's getting back in the football shape. You're starting to see that swagger. Him and Tom are starting to have that connection that they had briefly in New England. But we all know Tom Brady's Achilles heel. Quarterback pressure. And the Washington football team, they got a guy. I don't know if you know him. He's from the Big Ten. He's from the Ohio State Buckeyes. Chase Young, you ever heard of him? 7.5 sacks as a rookie. 4 forced fumbles as a rookie. 1 return for a touchdown. He left that field as NFC East champions thinking about one person, Tom Brady. He wants Tom Brady. I have no problem with that. That's what you're supposed to have. As someone who is a football player, I want somebody like that on my team. And he's not backing off of that. I know Ron Rivera is a little nervous. He's a little nervous that his rookie, man, has a little too much gumption, but I'd rather have him too much than too little. That's a pit bull. Chase Young is a pit bull, and I mean that to the highest compliment. He is a raging pit bull. So you know what? I'm not going to lie to you, man. The X factor is Alex Smith. I'm hearing Alex Smith is going to be playing. He's going to be starting in this game. My question is, can they keep him healthy? Can they keep him upright? Because he's not going to be a flashy quarterback like a Tom Brady, but he's efficient and he protects the football. And that's something that Tom Brady has had a problem with throughout the season, protecting the football, especially under duress. So you know what? I'm going to step out on a ledge on this one. I'm going with the underdog. Give me the Washington football team with an upset. Give me 21-17 Washington football. So On my Saturday slate, let's get it right. I got the Buffalo Bills winning. I got the Seattle Seahawks, and my upset alert is the Washington football team. But now, we got to talk Sunday. And Sunday is my day personally. Why is Sunday my day? Because I am a Baltimore Ravens fan through and through. I don't care if you know it. I'm biased. I don't care. Don't ask me no questions. I've been a fan since 2001, since they got Ed Reed. I have a Baltimore Ravens tattoo right here on my arm with the last Super Bowl that we won. It's just telling you, it's real in the field when it comes to these Baltimore Ravens for me. Lamar Jackson and my Baltimore Ravens, we about to go to work. You see what we doing? We've been in the playoffs for weeks already. We've already been in the playoffs because we were counted out about 4 or 5 weeks ago. People were saying they didn't think we were going to make it. But last time I checked, last week, we racked up 400 yards of rushing and could have went for 5. Could have went for 5. We know who we are now. The media, you can't sway Baltimore. You can't. We are who we are. We run the ball. And we play a hell of a defense. And we got corners. We got Marlon Humphreys. We got Marcus Peters. We got Jimmy Smith, who we just re-signed for a 1-year, $5 million deal. We have weapons on defense that can match up with Tennessee's weapons on offense. Patrick Queen, Derek Wolfe, Brandon Williams, Ndike, Calais Campbell. I'm calling y'all out right now. This is who I want to see show up. We brought you to Baltimore for this game specifically, for Derrick Henry. I'm not worried about my DBs. My DBs will be fine. Derrick Henry, he is a problem. We have to admit that. Lamar Jackson, he's been to the playoffs twice. He's yet to win a playoff game. But all those big moments that he's lost in his early career, this is his 3rd year in the league. He's already an MVP. And he's already been to the playoffs 3 times. This is his 3rd year. But all of those big losses in the playoffs, where are they at? They've been at home. They're not at home anymore. And you telling me you willing to take a Tennessee Titans that literally had to throw a 50-yard bomb just to win the game against the Houston Texans? Let's keep that in perspective. What they had to do just to get here. They were up to what were they up? 20-0? Something crazy like that? Come on, man. Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill versus Lamar Jackson, Patrick Queen, Hollywood Brown, and the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson, it is time. Today is your birthday. Happy birthday, brother. But let me tell you, it is time. It is time that you continue to put the world on notice that you built different, sir. That you built different. I have no faith in Tennessee's defense. Why would I? Do you see the kind of yards they've been giving up? So why would I have faith in that defense? But I dang sure got faith in my Baltimore Ravens. So I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens going away with this one. I don't think it's going to be close. I don't think it's going to be close because if they jump on them early, ball control. No one controls the ball better when they're running efficiently than the Baltimore Ravens. Do you see the offense that we run? Do you see the misdirection? Linebackers not even making missteps, making the correct read because of the play action that they're seeing, only to see that the ball is on the other side of the field. So give me Baltimore 34-20. Give me Baltimore 34-20. See you in the second round. My next matchup is the Bears versus the New Orleans Saints. Drew Brees, sir, I think this is about to be your last run. I don't think you have too many of these. You broke almost every rib in your entire body. But you're back now. And when you're back, and when the New Orleans Saints are clicking, it ain't too many teams that can beat them. It's not too many teams that can beat them. But Mitchell Trubisky is playing great right now. The Bears are playing great right now. Let's not take anything away from them. They're scoring points in bunches. That defense, led by Khalil Mack, who is still Khalil Mack. I don't know if y'all forgot or something. He's still Khalil Mack. But it's Drew Brees. He gets the ball out fast. He has Kamara. Kamara is a Swiss Army knife. What can't he do? He can run the ball. He can pass block. He can catch the ball out the backfield. I'm taking the New Orleans Saints, man. If you're asking me who's better just at quarterback, Trubisky or Drew Brees, what do you expect me to say? I mean, honest to God, what do you expect me to say? So, yes, I'm taking the Saints and that potent offense, that defense led by my frat brother, Malcolm Jenkins. I am taking the Saints in a very good football game. Give me 28-35. I like that. 28-35. The last game for wild card weekend is an AFC North matchup, a rivalry, and it's actually almost like they played last week. Oh, wait, they did. Or did they? Because last time I checked, Pittsburgh sat half the team, and Cleveland had to fight tooth and nail to beat Mason Rudolph. Let that sink in. They had to fight tooth and nail to beat Mason Rudolph. So now you're telling me they've lost an offensive lineman due to COVID. They've lost their head coach due to COVID. They got rookies out here drag racing in the streets. Cleveland, y'all can't get out of your own way. Y'all cannot get out of your own way. And this is why I do not think that the Browns are ready to really assert themselves in the NFL just yet. Did you see the celebration after they won against the Pittsburgh second stringers? You would have thought they won a Super Bowl. They was running laps, cheering, hugging each other. That's not a championship organization. That's somebody who's happy to be there. That's somebody who's happy to be there. I don't know with the loss. I think the loss of the offensive lineman is greater than the loss of the head coach personally. I think Baker Mayfield is smart enough. I think the coaching staff in Cleveland is smart enough to make it a close game. But I think where you do lose your head coach is he was the offensive mind. He was the one that was dialing up the plays. He was the one that was saying, okay, it's 3rd and 1. I see the safeties creeping. It's about that time we hit Leron Landry. It's about that time we swing Chubbs out the backfield, get him one-on-one with a linebacker. It's about that time we get Baker Mayfield on that play action. He's so much better on play action than he is in the pocket. I don't think that the Cleveland Browns are ready for this. I do not think they're ready for this level of success. I think they're a couple years away, to be perfectly honest, man. I got the Pittsburgh Steelers smacking them. Smacking. I'm going to go 17-34. And it's not even that I don't even believe in Ben Roethlisberger that much. But who I do believe in is their head coach, Mike Tomlin. And I do believe that he was very methodical last week. He showed the Cleveland Browns just enough to give them a little bit of faith. And he's just going to snatch it from them. He's going to take it away. It's going to be criminal what he does to them boys this weekend. But that's my takes, man. This is NFL Wildcard Weekend. Y'all let me know, who do y'all have winning? If I'm wrong, y'all got to let me know. Let's talk about it. I'm all about conversation, man. But this is Temperature Check. It's more than battle rap. I am your host, as always, man. Mr. Check the Temperature. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Like always, just getting started.